advice on how to get through camp? I know day 2 is probably the hardest.
Just taking care of your body, because that's the biggest key. If you don't take care of your body, you're not going to be able to perform. You're not going to be able to practice. You're not going to be able to do anything and show the coaches what you can do. And just be on time and accountable for everything you do. Because if you're on time, that's showing that you're respectful to the coach's time, and it just shows that you're a good person and that you're accountable.
How about, can you talk a little bit about your position group and how they've come along since the spring?
I think we've matured more and just knowing the playbook more. It's not as many questions. I think we have a good grasp of the playbook. It's just more so on technique and stuff like that. But I feel like since the spring to now, we've made a huge improvement on just understanding our assignments.
What are your thoughts on how the first 2 days of fall camp went so far?
First day was kind of rough. We had a lot of errors, which you would expect. But the second day we made, at least it felt like we made a huge improvement. Probably have to go back and watch the tape. But we made an improvement from day 1 to day 2, which is good. But obviously we're not where we want to be at yet. So.
As one of the leading guys at your position, how have you been able to hold the guys accountable while helping out your position coach in making sure the players understand what they need to do?
Just being blunt with them and telling them what it is. Don't sugarcoat nothing, because they need honesty. Everybody needs honesty, so don't sugarcoat anything or cut corners. Just tell them what they did wrong, what they could do better at, and they do the same with me as well. So we tell everybody what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. So we just let everybody be honest with each other.
What are some things you're trying to improve on during camp?
Things I am trying to improve on is just my breaks, middle of field breaks specifically, and my tracking when I'm trying to come down and make a tackle. Sometimes my angles can get a little sloppy at the break. And just communicating better. I feel like I've done a way better job compared to my first year when I was here. I feel like I made a huge improvement since then on communicating, but just overemphasizing it to the other players and just communicating with them on plays and other stuff like that.
How would you describe the current chemistry with you and the other safeties compared to how it was in the spring?
It's improved. We have 2 new safeties, but for the most part, they fit right in. It's not a huge change. It's not a huge difference. They fit right in. Most of the guys we still have, they was here last year, so everybody pretty much knows everybody for the most part because they've been here for at least more than 1 year, besides Huff and Antonio. So outside of those 2, everybody pretty much has been here for at least a year.
What's the most important aspect of defense that you and the safeties are working on?
Can you repeat the question, please?
What key aspect on defense are you and the guys at safety working on?
Just communicating, really. If we can communicate well, then everything else should flow well. Because if everybody's on the same page, then that means everybody's doing their job and doing the same thing. We play 11 as one. If one person's not doing their job, then it could be a touchdown. So we have to be unison and just make sure everybody's on the same page. That's the biggest key for us right now, is just overemphasizing communication.
Good. So just open up a little bit about maybe the progress between day 1 and day 2 for the offensive line.
Day 1 and day 2, let's see. We had skeletons, everything's mostly technique right now. So just us having our hands and feet where we need to have them is probably the best thing for us right now. But as far as going from day 1 yesterday, we moving around a lot. Day 2 coming in today, it's just more of a consistency communication part. So as long as we communicate, we get where we need to go.
At the start of the session, we saw that you were starting to put out the rotations with the offensive line, with the quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. How important is it to get start forming the rotations together prior to the season starting?
Honestly, that's probably our question. That's probably coach question. Rotation wise, I don't know.
No, he's not asking who was in the rotation, but how important is it to build chemistry
Yeah.
with the guys on the line and with the quarterbacks and running backs?
Well, I mean,
Receivers.
if everybody knows, I mean, we have a lot of unit pride here, so I feel like as long as you can have good chemistry with your players, we go out, we hang out, we do stuff together in that room. Everybody's chemistry gets good. Quarterback's chemistry and wide receivers' chemistry get good. We all hang around each other a lot, so the chemistry is there. It's just a want to initiation to do it, and that formulates our chemistry, so it makes us a better team.
What are some key differences you noticed with Coach Herman as opposed to the previous coaching staff?
Key differences. I don't really like saying differences between coaches. Our previous coach, Coach Tag, things worked for his scheme. Everything worked for his scheme. I would say that. Coach Herman, we had a little bit more. He brought some. I would say he brought a little bit more discipline based. So it's a little bit more discipline based. And I mean, not saying that Coach Tag didn't have discipline. Coach Tag did have discipline. Coach Herman brought more discipline, and that just making sure everybody's on the same page makes our team a little bit different.
What are some things the offensive line is working on to improve, and some things you're working on in particular to improve for next year?
Well, so offensive line on Saturdays, prior to coming to practices in the summer, we all worked. We did extra on Saturdays, did extra with each other, did the difference drill. The difference drill inside the weight room, that's probably the best thing that man has created. Difference drill, we can shot, we can work on our sets, do all that. For me, the biggest thing for me during our breaks, I went out to Texas to train O-line masterminds, and formulating that with what Coach Warner has taught me has made me better as a player. So, but whatever I'm getting there from him, from O-line masterminds with Duke Manuel, I'm able to formulate here with Coach Warner, and then also bring that to our offensive line.
One of the things I've noticed, and I just may not have noticed it before, but it seems like the team is really supporting each other. You know, when it's hot out there, if somebody goes down, he's always got a teammate there with him to help him. Or when somebody scores, he's always got a teammate, or they're congratulating the defense for the way they played. Is that something that has built over the summer or is new?
I mean, I would say that's just basically a big culture change.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to, and Coach Herman says this all the time, being able to have your teammate back more than you want it for yourself makes a whole difference. If you want him to score a touchdown more than you want yourself to score a touchdown, then therefore we're gonna have each other back. I mean, he spells love, T-I-M-E, and it's time. I mean, as much time as you get with your team is gonna show how much love and determination you got for your team. So.
As a veteran of the Owls offensive line, how have you been able to hold the guys who are like newcomers or less experienced accountable to help Coach Warner in that aspect?
I would just, as a veteran offensive lineman, I mean, all the vets on the line, because we're a whole unit, we just bring them along, make sure they on time for stuff, show them our culture, and if our culture doesn't work for them, it's the road. But at the same sense, it's like show them our culture and bring them along because they knew they're coming from high school to college. It's their first year, and then by the time we leave, vets leave, they know our culture, and they can reciprocate that to the freshmen that come in next year.
How big of an impact does Coach Warner make on the offensive line, and what are some things you've learned from him?
What's some things I learned from him?
Yeah.
Coach Warner's impact on the offensive line. First off, let me commend Coach Warner. Coach Warner has so many offensive linemen in the league. I mean, I know he told us that he's put a lot of linemen in the league. I don't know how many he has right now. I think he has about 5 in the league right now. But he knows so much, and I'm just trying to grab all that information I can from him because at the end of the day, he's trying to take me from this league, this level of competition to the NFL. And I mean, what's the second part of your question? I'm sorry. What's the second part of your question?
What are some things you've learned from Coach Warner?
I mean, it's all different aspects, technique-wise. I mean, he just pushes you. I mean, he sees, like any other coach on this staff, they see something in you, and you just got to push. at the end of the day, it's a want to, not, oh, I'm just gonna do it just because it's a want to. So if you wanna do it, you're gonna do it. If you don't wanna do it, it's next man up. But at the end of the day, they all care for us. So therefore, Coach Warner has so many things in his toolage of tools that he has in his tool belt. And I mean, it's too many to say exactly what I've learned from him, but just know he's a main impact on where I am, the person I am right now.
You guys good? All right, thanks, Chaz.
Appreciate it.